Advocacy group TTCRiders is out with a new report on transit reliability. It looks at the transit system's on-time performance for buses and streetcars, focusing on the period from September to mid-November. It found much longer wait times due to bunching. That's when several transit vehicles arrive at a stop at the same time, leading to gaps in service. Well, TTC spokesperson Stuart Green responded to the report in a statement that reads, "We aren't able to corroborate the noted experience specifically. However, we understand there are periods and days where services reliability is challenged across the network. The TTC continues to invest in improving route service reliability by adjusting schedules to observed traffic conditions." And joining us now with more insight on this new report is Shelagh Pizey-Allen from TTCRiders. Thanks a lot for speaking with us. Okay, let's just get right to it. The report, what do you say?
Well, the TTC has admitted that bunching is a problem, and we're really encouraged that this budget is investing in a pilot project to reduce bunching. And that's why we put out this report. The TTC is looking at this issue, and we want to have an honest conversation about how bad service really is out there. And the TTC metrics that they put out every month aren't really reflecting what riders feel every day, because what the TTC is measuring is when a bus leaves the terminal. That gets counted as on time. But if you're out waiting on the middle of the route and your bus is 20 minutes late, that's not how you see it, but that's what the TTC data says. So we put out a report that shows just how pervasive the issue of bunching is, and that shows that one metric the TTC uses isn't really cutting it. So it's time to have a more honest way to measure service, and it's the right time because there's this pilot project happening. So we're encouraged by that.
Okay, the occurrence of bunching. What do you have to say about that?
Not everyone knows what the word bunching means, but once you explain it, it's so frustrating. It's when you're waiting for a bus and it's late, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 come at the same time. And then when the first one does arrive, it's really crowded because it's been picking up all the people who've been waiting longer than they should be along the way. The best way to fix this problem is more bus lanes, more streetcar priority lanes, so buses don't get stuck in traffic. But the TTC does also need to be putting resources and attention into managing it. And because they're not really tracking how bad it is, they're not putting enough attention and focus on it. So this pilot is a real chance to change that. And that's why our report calls for different metrics and really having a dashboard. So, our group made a Freedom of Information request to get some of this data. We shouldn't have to do that. Everyone should be able to go to the TTC website and see what are the problem routes and what is the TTC doing to fix it.
Okay, TTC spokesperson Stuart Green says that they cannot corroborate this. What's your response to that?
Yeah, we put out a lot of information, but so part of the on-time performance metrics come right from the TTC. We made a Freedom of Information request, and when the TTC reports on how on time its buses are, it just looks at whether they left the terminal on time, and it creates an average for the whole month. It doesn't tell us a lot. We got access to every single route, every time period. If you want to know how poorly your route is doing, just go to our website and have a look. In terms of bunching, that data is from an app called TransApp, and it's from the real-time location of TTC vehicles. So that's how we got the numbers.
Now, also, I want to ask you about this. So earlier in the week, there was another delay. Commuters, they had to wait outside for, like 5 hours, something like that, because they had to take shuttles during that time period. This was due to a break in the track. TTC Chair Jamal Meyer says that, this shows sort of the need for more investment into the TTC so that they can avoid this. What do you say about that? Just, putting more money into this right now?
Yeah, it's so frustrating, the unexpected shutdowns. It's, I don't have to go into that. Everybody who's been riding the TTC lately knows how unreliable it's gotten. The good news is that the TTC is getting more investment this year in its State of Good Repair budget. It's really frustrating because we've gotten to this point where the TTC is in decline. It's unreliable because investments haven't been made in the past. So it's painful because now we're paying for it by having more weekend closures, more streetcar diversions, but it is needed repair work that's happening. What we want to see to make sure that when repairs are happening, it's as painless as possible, is for shuttle buses to get priority on the streets. When you do have to take a shuttle bus and it takes hours to, get down Yonge Street or to, go across the Bloor Danforth. It's not okay. It means people are not choosing to take the TTC. And then we also think the TTC needs to be communicating as much as possible, including on our apps, so that when we are trying to plan our trips, we know that the diversions are happening.
Okay. Shelagh Pizey-Allen, TTC Riders. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks for having me.